For just $30, despite a couple of issues, this has to be the best value gaming mouse on the market right now, and here's why. But first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now let's get the bad part out of the way first. If you like to palm grip mouse, and especially if you have larger hands, then this mouse is not for you. Steelseries specifically labels this as a fingertip and or claw grip style mouse and not a palm grip style mouse. And so if that is your preference, and especially if you have larger hands like me, mine are 7 inches from the tip of my middle finger to the base of my palm, then I do not recommend this mouse for you. With that said, if you do have smaller hands or you just prefer claw or fingertip gripping, then this is a fantastic mouse and you get an amazing value for money. Like I said, it costs just $30 or for some reason £35 in the UK, which if you understand currency means that that's way more expensive, but either way you still get a fantastic deal. You get a mouse with a pretty impressive sensor. It's the Steelseries new sort of mid-tier sensor. It's called the TrueMove Core and it's effectively just a slightly toned down version of their TrueMove 3 that we've seen in plenty of their other mice. It's capable of doing anywhere from 100 to 8,500 CPI, which is plenty for most people, and has no acceleration or deceleration unless you set it in their Steelseries engine software. Being an FPS mouse, aiming is pretty easy with this. It tracks really well in-game and honestly feels like the sort of mouse you could pretty easily win rounds with. If you're on the more competitive end, I think this would be a pretty good fit for you. Of course, there are some lighter and potentially more better suited mice, but especially if you're a competitive player on a budget, this sounds like a great option. Now, you do have a lot of customization of the sensor and the mouse's characteristics in the Steelseries engine software. Like I said, you can set acceleration and deceleration if you want that. You can also set the polling rate, which goes up to the sort of standard of 1000, and you can also set the angle snapping. One notable mention that is missing here that is available on some of Steelseries' other mice is the liftoff distance of customization. Well, it's not a necessary, change that you have to have available. It is kind of nice to be able to adjust that if you tend to, say, lift up your mouse a bit higher or don't lift it up quite as much. That adjustment is nice, but it's not the end of the world that it's not there. The movement with the mouse is also pretty decent. You get pretty massive glide pads on the bottom, which when paired with a good mouse pad, makes for a very smooth and very easy to flick around kind of mouse. And that easy to flickness is also aided by its only 77 gram weight. Now 77 grams isn't the lightest that I've seen even recently. In fact, the glorious Model D I reviewed a couple weeks ago, I think is 68 or 69 grams, so almost about 10 grams heavier. But as someone who comes from a 120 plus gram mouse that I game on fairly regularly, neither of these feel, anywhere near heavy, and so personally I don't have a massive problem with it, although the very competitive might want to go with some of the lighter options. The one thing that often comes with lighter weight mice is a reduction in build quality. Happily though, Steelseries have done a pretty good job here. The shell is intact, unlike the glorious mice, and actually feels fairly well reinforced and fairly sturdy. The left and right clicks are very satisfying, and while the two side buttons that, surprisingly, yes, those are side buttons, they are painfully small, actually pretty hard to hit the right one, but when you do hit them, they are fairly tactile and well reinforced, so when you can manage to press the button, it's quite a nice experience. And one other thing to mention is the USB cable. Steelseries have been using this kind of soft touch rubber USB cables for quite a while now. I still do kind of feel that they're not the best. I would prefer a braided cable here just because this soft touch rubber does tend to be a little more sticky than a braided cable and can get snagged and caught and sort of hung up on, say, the side of your desk or even just the desk surface itself. And so that would be my personal preference, but a good mouse bungee would solve the problem, and so it's not the end of the world. Of course, being a fairly recent product, it does have RGB, so take that or leave it. You can also turn it off in the Steelseries engine software if you prefer, or just change it to whatever you fancy. With that said, this mouse, well, absolutely brilliant, isn't for me. I prefer palm gripping mice, and like I said, I have reasonably large hands, and so this just isn't for me. I'm actually not too sure why Steelseries went with making this a claw and fingertip grip exclusive type of mouse, because they're kind of marketing it as a sort of mass appeal product. They've put a fantastic price tag on it, and yet I think it excludes quite a lot of the market that would be after this kind of mouse. But hey, that's my thoughts. I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. Is this a mouse for you? Do you prefer, you know, claw or fingertip gripping? Do you prefer, or do you have smaller hands and so you could palm grip this fine? Do let me know in those comments down below. Now, like I said at the start, if you want to see more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon. If you want to check out the Steelseries Rival 3 and see pricing when and where you watch this, because it can and does vary, do take a look at the top link in the description down below. That's an Amazon affiliate link that will take you to your local Amazon store where you can see all of that good stuff. And there's a load of other links in the description down below too if you want to support the channel, keep me making these videos, you know, in other ways than just watching these videos and subscribing. There's stuff like Amazon and Overclock UK affiliate links that don't cost you anything to use but massively help me out when you do use them. There's merch for hoodies or t-shirts like this one, or a load of other cool new designs, and there's also Patreon if you want to get cool rewards and support me directly, like ad-free videos. You can also check out some more videos over there if you want to keep watching. Maybe check out the Glorious Model D review, that was pretty recent and a fairly similar mouse to this, so do check that out. But otherwise, if you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. We'll see you all in the next video.